Early Alert functionality in PeopleSoft allows you to enter advising notes directly from your class roster. These notes are set up to be routed automatically to the student's appropriate advisor so that he or she may have an opportunity to review any potential concerns and intervene in a positive way if necessary to help the student achieve success in your class. To enter early alerts, you'll start by logging into your MyCLC account and then navigating to your Faculty Center. So once we're in PeopleSoft, we'll navigate to Main Menu, Self-Service, Faculty Center, My Schedule. And this pulls up a list of all the courses you're teaching for a particular term. To enter early alerts for a class in a different term, you'll simply click Change Term here, select that term, and hit Continue. Now we'll see all the classes that we're teaching for summer of 2018. In this example, we'll enter early alerts for English 122. So we just click the class roster icon next to that class, and our list of students will appear. A quick note that not every student will have the early alert icon next to their name. This is controlled every term and is dependent upon whether or not the class itself falls into a coaching cohort or if the student falls into some other type of student retention cohort. To enter an early alert for a student who does not have an icon on your roster, see Creating Early Alerts through the Advisor Center on your Faculty Resources page of the intranet. But for now, to enter early alerts for students that do have the icon on your roster, what you'll do is you'll find the student for whom you wish to enter the advising note, and you'll select the icon next to their name. And we'll be taken directly into the advising note page. Within the advising note, several fields are pre-filled for us. The category is set to early alert, which is the type of note that we're submitting. The status is set to open, which will allow the advisor a chance to review the note. Advisee access is set to no, which is the default, meaning that this note will not be visible to students. And the assign to field will pre-fill for you based on the student's assigned advisor. So the system will automatically assign and send this note to the student's appropriate advisor. We'll want to next select a subcategory. So for early alert, we'll select either an academic concern or a student success. Again, advisee access is set to no, meaning that this is not visible to students, and unless we're submitting a positive alert or a student success, we do not want to change this value. After we select the subcategory, we will next select topics by clicking the magnifying glass. This brings up a list of all of the topics that correspond to the subcategory selected, and we'll go through and we'll check whichever topics are most appropriate to the note that we're submitting. So in this example, we'll select low homework, maybe missing class, missing assignments, and maybe we also have a time management concern. You can select as many topics as desired, but you need to select at least one in order to submit the note. So you'll check your topics here and then click Return. The subject field is going to populate for you after selecting your topics. It's going to begin with some course information for reporting purposes, and then also it gives a concatenated list of the topic short descriptions that you selected. Do not change this field. You'll next want to come down to the Note Details section, and you'll want to provide a summary of the early alert concern. So any narrative that you think would be helpful for the coach or the advisor who sees this note to know, you'll want to enter into this section here. As appropriate, if you need to embed a hyperlink, you can do so. If you need to change the font or the size or the color, you can do all of that in this text box here. In some instances, a template might exist based on the subcategory that you've selected. So for example, if instead of selecting academic concern, we had selected student success, a template exists for this subcategory, meaning that you'll see some additional information populate into the subject and into the note details section. So you'll still do the same thing that you did previously. You'll still go through and you'll select your topics. In this case, there's only one, Course Improvement and Success. We'll select that and return. And again, we'll see some additional information come into the subject line, giving us that course information for reporting purposes. And again, we do not want to change this value. We can look down at the note details, however, and we can see if we want to add any additional text. So if there's anything else in particular you want to tell the student or you want to tell the student's advisor, you can do so here. And just a quick note, with this template, a student success, the advisee access is defaulted to yes. So in this instance, you would be making this note visible to the student because you are congratulating them on the success of your class. And when your early alert is complete, you'll hit submit at the bottom of the note. A quick note here before I hit submit, if at any point you wish to return directly to your class roster, maybe you realized you were on the wrong student, or maybe just for some reason you no longer wish to submit this alert, you can click return and you'll be taken directly back to your class roster. But in this example, let's assume our early alert is complete, we're happy with it, we're going to hit submit. A warning message is going to pop up to remind us that notes cannot be edited once they're submitted, and we just need to confirm that we'd like to continue by hitting yes. A summary of the submitted note will now appear. If we would like to update the note, we can click Update Note here. It just allows us to add additional details. So we can't change what we already submitted, but if we forgot a key piece of information, we can click Update and we'll be able to add an additional note here. Otherwise, if it's submitted and we're happy with it, we simply click Return and we'll be taken directly back to our class roster. From here, we can continue down our roster and we can add additional notes for additional students, or if we need to change the class, we come up to the top of our schedule, we click Change Class, and we can select a different class here, or again, we can change terms if necessary. And this concludes the training on submitting early alerts directly from the class roster.